Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means.
ABC News pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely over the late-night host comments on the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
What's wrong with you people?
Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
It's about time.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
I have been calling out Jimmy Kimmel's reprehensible comments and dialogue for years now, like this one that he made mocking the First Lady, who speaks 6 languages, Melania Trump, in 2018. You might recall. Take a look.
I want to really thank the First Lady, Melania, who has done an incredible job. She worked so hard on this event, and so I want to thank you.
Yeah, that's not a chance she did one thing to help set that up. She didn't die egg, she didn't feel bad. The only thing she's been working on is an escape tunnel. No White House Easter celebration would be complete without story time from our First Lady.
Never stop exploring, because life would be boring. Be clever and curious, just like a cat. Ask lots of questions about this and that.
About this and that. Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Kimmel continued again on Tuesday, stating, quote, many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. The FCC warning Disney there would be action taken against his comments, and then ABC pulled him off the air indefinitely shortly thereafter. Just before ABC's announcement, the president of one of the country's largest TV stations said it would stop airing Kimmel's show, calling the host's comments offensive and insensitive, and that they don't represent the values of the communities in which we are located. They're going to replace programming in its ABC-affiliated markets.
This action today by Nexstar and Sinclair, frankly, it's unprecedented. I can't imagine another time when we've had local broadcasters tell what we call a national programmer like Disney that your content no longer meets the needs and the values of our community. So this is an important turning point. And frankly, speaking of that, obviously, Charlie Kirk set out to change the country, to change the culture, and the results of his work are continuing to produce results, and that's a good thing.
You use the phrase propaganda, Professor, and I just have to ask you, what do you consider what Jimmy Kimmel was doing every night or what Stephen Colbert was doing by having on only Democratic guests? Jimmy Kimmel Monday night flat lied about the shooter. Back in the spring, he egged his audience on in cheering on the violence against and wanting, kind of wishing, I think, the downfall of a publicly traded company, Tesla. Do you consider that to be propaganda? Is it good for a business?
Do you consider that to be free speech, Scott?
You use the phrase propaganda.
I'm asking you. You used the words free speech before. Do you consider that free speech?
I consider it to be speech, and he's obviously free to say it.
Will you defend that speech in this country that will defend to the death the speech of others? Will you defend Jimmy Kimmel's speech?
Do I defend Jimmy Kimmel going on television and saying that a shooter from the left...
Do you defend his right to do so?
He has a right to do so, but he does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people and attacks half this country on a nightly basis.
Damn! Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
Congressman, I see you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John. I was a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. He, every night, has a right to come into any house that wants to watch and entertain Americans, just as Greg Gutfeld on Fox has a right to be not funny and go on his network and entertain Americans. It's a part of who we are, John, and frankly, it should shake every American that the President of the United States is out there firing comedians who make fun of him. That is not who we are, and every American should care and stand up to this.
Oh, Lord. Again, nothing new, nothing changed, same old
I'm in a full face of makeup because I was supposed to go over and have a chat with my friend Jimmy Kimmel on his show. But as you have heard by now, the Jimmy Kimmel Show has been pulled indefinitely, abruptly, because of complaints from the Trump administration. He didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza within his first week, but he did end freedom of speech within his first year.
What?
The news about Jimmy Kimmel, I think, is a pretty watershed moment. I think we all need to be talking about. We actually, and it's not just a media story. I know you agree with me on this. It's not just a media story. It's a democracy story. It's a freedom of speech story. It's so many things. And I've been thinking a lot today about how I lived through years of answering questions from a lot of these network journalists, people who ask tough questions. Sometimes I was pissed off at them. That's part of what we do. And this is threatening that.
This is somebody who's a comedian, for goodness sakes. And now we've got the Trump administration literally targeting individuals. You saw it with Stephen Colbert. Now you're seeing it with Kimmel. Anybody that's criticizing this administration, they're using the power of government to intimidate companies to fire people.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I like an offensive joke. I like Dave Chappelle. I like comedians that make fun of the right or the left or anyone. I'm a big fan of Kill Tony. This is not about someone telling an offensive joke. This is about somebody crossing the line and creating a dangerous environment, the same style of dangerous environment that got Charlie Kirk killed in the first place. This is what Jimmy Kimmel did. Jimmy Kimmel went on to his audience of millions and said that a MAGA conservative killed Charlie. That's what he said. And then, effectively, by saying that to his audience, he said that Charlie had it coming because Charlie Kirk is the leader of the MAGA conservative movement. He is a generational voice for our movement. And so as Charlie Kirk is the figurehead saying that he was killed by his own movement, what you are doing is victim blaming Charlie Kirk. One, that's what Jimmy Kimmel did. First sin. Second sin is that Jimmy Kimmel is messaging to his left-wing audience that if you are a left-winger and you target a conservative, if you target a Trump supporter and you kill them, I, Jimmy Kimmel, and the ABC News platform will whitewash it for you. I will ensure that your true motives, which is left-wing violence. This is demonstrable evidence has been provided that this is a left-wing political assassin. He has a duty, a legal duty. ABC has a legal duty based on their broadcast licensure with the federal government that is lavished upon them by the taxpayer to not lie to their audience, also to broadcast in the public interest. So by doing this, especially on national issues, by doing this, they are in violation of their broadcast license. So this is absolutely and 100% justifiable. Sorry for the long answer, but it is important for everybody to understand this is not an attack on free speech. This is not because somebody told a naughty joke that we don't like. This is because Jimmy Kimmel did the indefensible and he victim blamed Charlie Kirk's political assassination on himself, on Charlie.
These people who are alleged free speech warriors have turned out to be cancel culture fans. And so, Jimmy Kimmel also tweeted something out saying he was so sorry for this death and we should put aside our differences. He's a comic. Comics should be able to make jokes. I don't understand, of all the people that should have free speech, comics should absolutely have free speech. And so this week has been sort of an object lesson that they never really cared about free speech. They just care about power. And that's what's happening here.
What do you mean by that?
I do think that several members of Congress in some of my discussions have brought up media literacy because that is a part of what happened here. And we're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false. And so that's something that we're looking into.
These lies continue tonight. Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth, and from letting them go on again and again and again. Not because their views deserve such opprobrium, but because our democracy depends on it.
A few moments later.
Senator Schumer, your reaction to this?
It is outrageous. It's a page right out of Xi's playbook. This is just despicable, disgusting, and against democratic values. Trump and his allies seem to want to shut down speech that they don't like to hear. That is not what democracies do. That is what autocracies do. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with Kimmel or not. He has the right to free speech. And so it is just outrageous. It is indicative of autocracy, and I am just outraged by it. Again, this is what dictators do. This is what Xi would do. This is what Putin would do. We are not that country.
You're fired.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring that notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here, you want to show a little extra love and support, be sure to check out our website, crownandthread.com. That's where you can grab all the awesome clothes you see me wearing in all of my videos, like this one. It says, "He conquered as the lamb, returns as the lion." You know, the Lion of Judah, that would be King Jesus. And these are all handmade by my beautiful wife. We got tons of different designs to choose from, Christian, conservative, sizes ranging from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty, 5X for my folks that like to eat. Bunch of different colors. It's all gooder than chicken to me. Of course, I'm biased though, but I'm sure we've got something that you look great rocking or that'll make an awesome gift for someone you love. We also sell some pretty sweet woodworking pieces made by my father-in-law, crosses, hearts, charcuterie boards. Definitely go check those out as well. If you'd like to support in other ways, you can buy me a coffee, hit that thanks button. You can become a member of the Gibson family right here on YouTube. All those links are down below in the description section. Listen, by no means do you have to do any of that stuff. Just showing up and watching my freckle face for a few minutes, that means the world to me, seriously. And I love y'all. I truly can't thank you enough for rocking with me throughout the years. Whether you've been here since I started back in 2017 when I was doing music reactions, or you're a recent subscriber, by the grace of God through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and with y'all's support, my life couldn't be any better. Seriously. So thank you. And until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.